What is up, guys? It's your boy Alex, and welcome back to the Brave Lionheart channel, and we are back with another reaction video of something that actually was recently requested by One Fish Mob. You know, the guy that had me, or that I've been reacting to for a while with his fan war stuff. And don't worry, I'll be getting back to some more of that stuff and other stuff on my channel. He requested me to react to a certain... I'm not sure what to call it, just a talk about a movie that's also a sequel to a first movie, and it's from a YouTube channel called SHREK or Freelas, not sure how it's pronounced, but I'll probably, figure out how it's pronounced sooner or later, or how it's said when the guy who's doing the channel. Basically, this is another unknown YouTuber that I've never reacted to before. So it's the first time for everything, and today we will be looking at his video on why Shrek 2 is a perfect sequel. Yeah, you'll remember the DreamWorks hit movie Shrek. Ogre, voiced by Mike Myers. Not the Halloween movie Mike Myers, but the comedian Mike Myers from, the Austin Power movies and stuff like that. And apparently how he's friends with a talking donkey, go to save a princess, turns out that princess has a curse and she's also an ogre, and they all lived happily ever after. Then the second one came out, and surprisingly, it was a good sequel to the first movie. Then the third movie came out. It was not that good. Then the fourth movie came out, then a slew of short movies, a Halloween one, a Christmas one, and for some reason there's talk of DreamWorks doing a remake, which has not surfaced yet, so it'll probably be the end of the Shrek franchise, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, this is going to be the first time that I'm doing this, so let's not waste any time and jump right in, shall we? Alright, we got the video set up and we are ready to get this started. So, again, I'm going to be going in this completely not knowing exactly how this guy's going to do his video. But, we'll see what happens once we, get rolling into it. So, there is that. Anyway, with that being said, let's not waste any time and jump right in. So, without further ado, let's dive right into why Shrek 2 is a perfect sequel and see exactly why that is. So, starting the video in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And again, this will be the first time that I'm reacting to this, so I'm not sure exactly how the video is going to go. So, it's just going to be a first time for me, like most of the other videos that I've done on my old channel. So, we'll see how things go. But yeah. And also, I don't know how I can't fix the quality of the video for some odd reason, but, we'll fix that once we get it started.
And say I may have gone too far in a few places because yeah, sometimes it seems like all I ever do is complain, mostly about Disney, Go figure. But let's be positive for a change.
Oh,
in fact,
and again, these pop up. I think you got a thing for that if they start being a bother, because usually they are.
I'm dead serious this time. Most people love this movie. Some even love it more than the first. But I don't think
need to fix that in editing.
Says,
I see.
Yeah, now that's one of the greatest sequels in cinematic history. Why am I Luigi? But here's the thing.
I think you're trying to do a stereotypical Italian accent
in cinematic history. Now I know what you're thinking. Whoa, back it up. There's no such thing as a perfect movie, and to that I say, you are correct, sir. There's no such thing as a perfect movie, but there is such a thing as a sequel.
I think that is the thing. That is the kind of thing that we deal with when it comes to filmmaking, is not every single movie can be perfect. You gotta think about, script writing, writing out the story, casting people, and then do all the filmmaking and editing just to make sure that it goes good. And occasionally it will go out well, more specifically for the first movie, and, not sequels most of the time, because believe me, there's a fair share of bad sequels and bad movies in the world. Yeah, also, I like the fact that his YouTube profile is a Tomatoa from Moana. By the way, if you guys have not watched that movie, I highly recommend it. It's a really good Disney and Pixar movie with some really, really great songs. But yeah, that's the thing, how hard it is for, filmmaking and, how far it's come from, before.
This is probably the most TED talking my channel will ever get. So if you understand this next bit, you have a high enough IQ to understand the genius of Shiny. Congrats.
Oh, that guy's sitting on his own brain.
So, as As I said, there's no such thing as a perfect movie. Even my favorite movie of all time...
I don't think I've ever seen that movie,
What
Whiplash.
happened to the folder? What happened to the folder after Neiman put it down? This isn't funny, Damien Chazelle. This is gonna bug me for the rest of my life. Where did the folder go? So yeah, like I said, there are no perfect films. There's simply too many variables at play. Directing, acting, cinematography, score, editing, effects, production design, writing, pacing,
Yeah.
Tamatoa. Every single one of these elements needs to be perfect in order to craft a perfect film. And it can't be done. However, the criteria for a perfect sequel is a lot more achievable. As a result, a movie can perform its functions as a sequel perfectly, even if it can't be a perfect movie. So, what's the criteria for a perfect sequel? Here's
Sorry,
what I decree.
I had something on the bottom of my glasses.
Expand the universe of the first film in meaningful ways. 2. Continue the story in a new, compelling way. 3.
That is usually the first two things you have to think about when making a sequel.
4. Leave an undeniable impact on your franchise. A few examples of perfect
Not like an
sequels
impact in like a
include
bad way, but
Aliens,
impact in a good
The
way
Dark
for a
Knight,
sequel.
Blade Runner 2049, and Toy Story 2. All of these films meet the criteria for a perfect
Oh,
sequel.
shaking a little too much.
Predecessor.
Oh,
Basically,
boy.
These two are basically equal. So let's go over that criteria I laid out and determine why these movies do everything a sequel should and more.
Oh, that's
The
creepy.
universe. Aliens introduces new concepts about xenomorph biology, a deeper look at the Whaling Corp, and a much more intricate look at Ripley's life and her as a character in general. All of the things introduced in this movie fit so naturally into the alien universe that it feels like these concepts were here from the start. Of course there's an alien queen. Of course the aliens incubate their victims like this.
Yeah, and a little bit more graphic than the first movie.
We're giant Mars rovers. Everything in this movie feels like a natural progression of the first movie's world. I could also talk about Blade Runner at this point, but we don't have 18 hours, so let's move on. Continuing the story in a new, compelling way. And introducing new, compelling themes. Blade Runner 2049 takes the introspective themes of the first film, such as identity, humanity, artificiality, etc., and gives them all a much more thorough explanation, while also telling a more compelling story that allows for many more chances to develop all these themes. The Dark Knight shifts the focus to new characters and gets a chance to explore brand new themes of morality, chaos, justice, etc. And Toy Story 2 raises far more interesting questions than the first. What happens when a toy's owner grows
Even
up?
though that arc
Will
was
it be
more
forgotten,
continued
and
for
is it
the
worth it
third
to go through
movie and
that?
not this
These questions
one.
are then directly followed through on in the third movie. Which leads me to leaving an undeniable impact on the rest of the franchise.
Again, something that was saved for the third Toy Story movie. Not really the second one, but, you know.
In this movie, it entirely changes the trajectory of Luke and Vader's character arcs in the next movie.
Alright, I was kind of hoping he would actually start talking about Shrek by now, but it looks like he's just talking about bad sequels. Or just sequels in general. Which, kind of weird, because, like, that was the kind of thing you dealt with in, Cat Icarus's review of that Japanese PlayStation 1, Thomas the Tank Engine game. But who knows, maybe once he starts talking about bad sequels, he'll start talking about Shrek 2. I mean, we can only hope, that is. You know, no, let's just continue on, see how this goes. Maybe he'll only talk about, like, a few bad sequels, and then he'll start talking about Shrek 2. Not saying that Shrek 2 is a bad sequel, but, you know, we're just going to move on from that and continue on from where we left off. So, let's get back into it. And again,
Deadpool 2 is by all accounts a pretty good movie, better than the first. But is it a pretty good sequel? I'd argue that...
Come on, dude, it's actually a good sequel.
Despite being better in nearly every way, it still feels all too familiar, with a lot of recycled jokes and bits from the first. Too much fan service ain't good, fam. In addition, the tone hasn't really changed much. Aliens and Empire are exciting and rich because of their unique tones compared to the first film. This is just more Deadpool. I feel mostly the same watching these
the
two
first
movies
movie was
despite the
just
letters
more
and brilliance.
Deadpool.
Essentially, Deadpool 2 is a Galaxy 2 kind of sequel, while Empire Strikes Back is a Majora's Mask kind of sequel. Both good,
Really?
better than the originals even, but one's trying a lot harder to be a different, richer experience. And then there's bad sequels. I have two examples that I hold in equally low esteem: Cars 2 and Blast. These two
I can agree there that Cars 2 and more specifically Cars 3 are not the best kind of movies to watch.
And its events are completely ignored by Cars 3. It left no impact on the franchise, and it expanded the world of Cars in completely idiotic ways. The Last Jedi, meanwhile, feels like a fan fiction written by a pretentious high school
Ugh, yeah, Last Jedi was not that
its connections
good.
to Force Awakens are tenuous at best. Its themes of failure are designed to actively...
Oh yeah, who could ever forget the best character in that movie, Rose?
Characters, aside from its villains.
Ugh, good lord.
Shrek as a franchise is obviously no stranger to bad sequels. But
Yeah, let's not talk about the sequels of Shrek just yet.
Problem a sequel could have, and hit that criteria I laid out perfectly in its first outing. Shrek 2 is obviously...
Glad that he's now finally talking about it.
What does he find? Some gender-confused wolf.
Uh-oh. She's evil, so it's okay for her to be intolerant, I guess. That's why she gets murdered at the end. Problem solved.
I don't feel so good.
So, yeah, this is not a perfect movie.
Oh yeah, because of course the first movie had pop culture references, this one had more.
Let's talk about that. Shrek 2 features such a perfect expansion of the first movie's story, characters, and world that it blows my mind. The story proceeds in such a natural way and answers so many questions that the first movie might have left us with. Fiona's a princess, right? Okay, of...
Where?
What kingdom does she belong to? Who
I
were
mean,
her
who
parents,
knows?
Why did they leave her in that tower? Who are her people?
Who are your people?
I don't have people.
No people, huh? Fiona... The movie expands
Really?
on all of these questions in a way that makes complete sense. Having it all be a ploy by a manipulative fairy godmother in order to get her son a future bride, all in exchange for
The absolute worst character in the Shrek franchise.
Frog Prince, which is also
No, I'm not talking about the king, but Prince Charming, basically.
Remember when we were young and we used to walk down by the lily pond and they were in bloom.
Our first kiss.
That's amazing. To quote my 12th grade
Subtle.
government teacher, who also kind of looks like a white Shrek now that I think about it.
Ugh, why would you say that?
Tapestry. Much like Blade Runner 2049, Shrek 2 lets you rethink the events of the first film with all the new revelations it gives you.
What?
But at the same time, it offers a completely satisfying standalone story, unburdened by a need to know what happened in the first film. This is a very satisfying standalone and follow-up story, complete with twists, turns, and... dare I say it, layers! The opening narration sets the stage pretty well, echoing the same story the first film opened with, but with new details and a mysterious new narrator instead of Shrek. The movie is wasting no time in expanding the Shrek universe and getting you intrigued to learn more about it. We see tons of new locations that feel completely different from the places we went to in the first film. There's a lot of magic spells and potions that enhance the world building.
Yeah, considering it's with the fairy godmother, so it actually shows, like, more magic powers.
We'll get to themes later, but does this movie leave an undeniable impact on the franchise? Bruh. I am the franchise. Far, far away
Really?
is the main setting of the series from this point on.
This guy's just probably got Star Wars on his mind.
Might as well have been forgotten. Lord Farquaad is some nobody who had no real presence as a villain.
At least he was a better villain than freaking Prince Charming in the third movie.
Behind Fiona's curse in the first place, and her impact is felt in universe and in real life apparently. And just like Empire, the newcomers here are fan favorite mainstays.
Puss
in Boots,
in
the King and
Boots.
Queen, Prince Charming, Doris. Voiced by Larry King. The supporting cast.
Wow, I actually did not know that. That is surprising.
Criteria. It's a perfect sequel. I convinced you guys. Hooray, we're done here. Vroom, back in the 90s. I was in a... No. I'm not...
Oh, yeah, we still got more to talk about. Because I think we're only halfway into this video.
And log into Napster. I don't know. It's the music. We're going to talk about the music now.
Oh, the music. Right.
The soundtrack of Shrek 2 is, in a word, phenomenal. It accomplishes so much in terms of setting the tone, enhancing the story, and making me forget how much I hate Footloose. Damn you, Shrek 2!
Oh, wow, really?
So, is it safe to say that Shrek 2 not only has the better version of holding out for a hero, but it uses it in the story in a much better way? Like in Footloose, it's just there, without any real reason for it to be sung. She's just singing about a hero, just because, for no reason. Here, it ties into the story so naturally and it blends so well with the score.
Yeah, if you want to pause and read, I had to go real quick for that because, you know, don't want to go too crazy with, like, the songs that are playing, but we're going to move on from that. And, yeah, honestly, for a continuation for a first movie with, like, soundtrack quality and song quality, Yeah,
Perfect use
the
of
songs
song
are
that's
actually pretty
associated
good
with
and
the
very,
movie.
very catchy.
Obviously, this is
I mean,
a
you
good
know,
example
not
of
as
what
catchy as the
I'm
songs
pointing
from the
to.
first
We'll
movie,
discuss it
but,
later,
you know,
let's
they're
talk
still
about how
catchy.
every other song in this soundtrack is perfectly implemented and enhanced.
I actually forgot there were a lot of songs in the second movie.
Important the soundtrack is to a Shrek movie.
Oh, yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy in that
Oh,
regard.
who could forget songs from Guardians of the Galaxy, even though they were, like, songs that Quill sang a lot.
For instance, the main goal of the first Shrek soundtrack is essentially...
Oh, yeah.
Get that away from me! You know I'm allergic to Defenses of the Last Jedi. But yeah,
Jeez, sure, Squidward.
meant to let the audience know this ain't your grandma's fairy tale.
Ah, Pro ZD. Such a funny guy, honestly. And then, you know, as soon as that played,
you
knew that, like, they were gonna use a lot of pop songs.
Bad reputation.
Oh, yeah. Never really remember the name of it.
As the movie slows down and really starts to examine the blooming relationship between Shrek and Fiona, the songs start reflecting that. From the one no one remembers, to Hallelujah, to the song with an opening so perfect...
I think there was deleted songs from, like, the first movie. Ah, yeah, this song. So great. And actually very catchy. I don't know why Ratburn from Arthur was there. Ugh, that was terrifying.
Work quite as well. This is why I think Shrek the Musical...
Whoa, hey. Yeah, I'm not gonna agree with that. I actually like Shrek the Musical. I really think it's fun, and actually bringing back some of the classic songs for that show honestly really helped the musical a long way. And it's actually one of mine and my sister's favorite musicals to listen to. And you guys can disagree with me all you want in the comment section down below, but I love Shrek the Musical. Definitely love the songs, love the costumes, the sets. Everything about it is just so fun and awesome to listen to. But again, you guys can disagree with me all you want in the comment section down below. That's your guys' opinion.
Shrek 2 takes the concept of pop culture musical storytelling from the first movie, says, nah, that sucked. And
Oh, what was that?
the only movie
Okay, that was a little
pop culture
creepy.
music into its story better than this is Baby Driver. And if I'm talking about a movie in the
Oh yeah, Baby Driver's another good movie.
Okay, this is a pretty good movie. The central theme of this movie is exploring the relationship between Shrek and Fiona. This comes across so perfectly with Accidentally in Love, which is a jam despite being the most early 2000s song I've ever heard, possibly. Is there no better way to describe Shrek and Fiona's relationship than Accidentally in Love?
Ever Fallen in Love reflects this perfectly as well, while also being a great action song. I Need Some Sleep and People Ain't No Good perfectly reflects Shrek's mindset and the tone of each scene. Funky Town and Little Drop of Poison are the perfect ways to establish new locations.
And I could gush about how David Bowie's changes is used in this movie for hours. How could this soundtrack be any more perfect? Hit it!
Oh, no. Not the up-tempo. No,
I
stop.
seem to wrap my head around is Livin' La Vida Loca, which seems more like a random choice thrown in because of popularity.
This song actually could have been something saved on the dance party thing that was in the DVD section.
His own song. But that's okay. I'm sure he'll have one in the live-action remake, right?
Yeah, no, the live-action movie was not a musical.
All in all, if you
Yeah,
all the songs in this
that
movie,
was one of the drawbacks of the live-action Mulan movie.
And mostly meant as a take that to Disney. Kind of like the Robin Hood song from the first movie. And it's good for what it is. So this is a movie with 10 songs, all ranging from solid to spectacular, with 9 of them serving vital relevance to their scenes and ultimately enhancing the viewing experience. Compare that to Suicide Squad. No, that's too easy. Compare that
Oh,
to
jeez.
Shrek the Third. What is wrong with this movie? I can't make sense of any of the song choices here. Why is Living...
Yeah, I think you're kind of getting ahead of yourself there, bud. We're talking about the second Shrek movie, not the other sequels.
In the title? Wow, that's really stupid. Thanks so much, guys. I love this
Oof.
movie.
Yeah.
You really can't appreciate a perfectly integrated soundtrack until you experience a poorly integrated one. So, thanks for that, I guess. Okay.
And it was sung by other frogs. Oh yeah, the comedy.
This movie's really funny, guys. I don't even know what else to say.
Really?
Thank you, Mother. Mother!
Yeah.
Legit,
Really
I watched
forgot
this movie
about
last
this.
week, and I laughed out loud on numerous occasions. I never laugh out loud at movies unless I'm with an audience.
Oh.
And I wasn't with no
Sorry
audience
about
when I watched
that. That
this. It is
usually
just
pops
that
up.
funny that I couldn't
That
help
killed the
myself.
illusion.
Pop culture references are so seamlessly
No, I'm just kidding. It
integrated
didn't
into
kill
the world of
anything.
This movie that it's incredible. Like, I love you, Madagascar, but this is just referencing for reference's sake.
on, you old heck!
Yeah.
Shrek 2
Really?
Fires Fat Boy, Knights, Farbucks.
Oh,
Just the
yeah.
concept of far, far away.
That was the
being
kind of
like
thing
LA,
that was
but
really
in
awkward for
great
me.
contrast to the locations of
Just
the first movie.
being a
The
take
jokes
on
and
Sunset
delivery from
Boulevard with all
everyone
their
is
famous
top-notch.
shops
I
and
think my favorite
everything.
performance in this movie has to be John Cleese.
You said it right the first time, John
How to
Cleese.
pronounce that before I record this? Nah, I'm okay. That's okay. John Cheese as King Harold.
Really?
Everything he says just cracks me up.
This is Fiona's choice.
Yes, but she was supposed to choose the prince we picked out for her.
Little details like Prince Charming wearing a Burger King crown, the Cyclops tooth at the door to the
Ugh.
these terrified people escaping
Yeah,
one $5 just to go to another across the street.
not sure
This movie
why.
came out in 2004. Why is that so topical? There are now 3 Starbuckses on my college campus.
Wow.
Who needs that many Starbucksies? To quote that weird asshole guy from the live-action Beauty and the Beast,
Isn't one enough?
also, this movie's a way better fairy tale than the live-action Beauty and the Beast. Boom, send tweet. I also love the dinner scene and how chaotic it gets. It's the perfect mixture of awkwardness and hilariousness. And I have to say, it's pretty much the best scene in the
Yeah. This scene.
Nah.
Yeah, we had to cut a lot of that out for some great reason, but oh, they had to replay that, but I don't even know how much longer this video is. But I'm just going to assume that this actually is the last part that we're going to get to talk about, and then we'll see where we can go from there. And I'll probably give my thoughts on this video, but yeah, something like that.
Do you even think of something like this? How is it possible? Who came up with this idea?
I'm not gonna lie though, this is a pretty good scene in Shrek 2.
It is unworthy of us mortals. You can't make a flawless movie, but you can make a flawless scene, and this is it. It's simultaneously hilarious and suspenseful. The stakes are made explicitly clear. If Charming kisses Fiona, she falls in love with him, and it's an instant game over. We're invested in Shrek's plight to stop that kiss, and all the close calls.
Oh, well, there went the gumdrop buttons.
Mongo's death
Well, that's just... Oh, yeah, and it was so sad to see Mongo die.
Kiss her, and she picks up the rose instead, and they keep dancing. I can't get over how well the hero vocals sing.
And she just keeps on going. That's literally all she's doing. She just keeps on going with the song.
Oh my god, this cover. It's
Yeah, I think we get it,
goddamn
dude.
Perfect, and it might be the best thing DreamWorks has ever made. Actually, you know what? It is the best thing DreamWorks has ever made. This scene is better than every scene in The Prince of Egypt.
No, Prince of Egypt has some
Better
epic
overall
scenes
movie.
in
This
that
individual
movie.
scene outdoes every individual scene of this movie. Also,
Yep.
it's a better scene than the Lightspeed Ram.
That we can agree on. While it looks cool, it makes no absolute sense.
Believe it or not, this sequence, despite being easily the best part of the movie, is not why this movie as a whole is
Alright,
so
I'm just
well
gonna
regarded.
clean my glasses while we're doing
Obviously,
this.
but in my opinion,
because there's
an theme
a
that's
lot
allowed this
going
movie to
on.
persist in our minds for so long. And to quote a wise old fat guy, you may not have noticed it, but your brain did.
Oh! Okay, I guess there is one more part.
The most important reason Shrek 2 is such a perfect sequel is how it carries over the themes of the original and expands on them in a deep, satisfying way. The first Shrek is about a guy who is told time and time again that he is unworthy of being loved.
Yeah, okay, can you not zoom in
Society hates him
close
for
on that?
resisting. He is seemingly content with his role as the person everyone hates. He doesn't need anyone. That all changes when he meets Donkey, someone who sees him for who he is as a person. He opens up to
You're
Donkey about his
just
frustration
basically
with how the world sees
recapping
him, or at
the
least
first
he tries
movie,
to,
explaining why Shrek was not liked by a lot of people.
Ogres are like onions. End of story. Bye
Bye-bye! See you later.
He then meets Fiona and finds out they have a lot in common. He's found someone who could potentially love him after years of assuming he's unworthy of love. So he defies society's expectations of him, confessing his love for Fiona and usurping
yeah.
the kingdom by murdering its ruler. But let's not worry about that. He and Fiona get
Okay.
married and his story comes to a close. It's a happy ending for someone who never thought he'd get one. But to paraphrase a wise old horseman, you can't have happy endings in franchises. Not really.
Oh,
If it was
jeez.
happy, the show would be over. And above all else, the show has to keep going. You never get a happy ending because there's always more show. This is where Shrek 2 comes in. Shrek has learned to open up to someone, but he's not ready to face society, and society is not ready to face him. Despite gaining someone's love and affection, he is still not accepted. He's not the son-in-law the king wants. He's not the prince the kingdom wants. He's gotten something he's wanted for so long, and yet society thinks he doesn't deserve it. And his insecurities make him believe that he doesn't deserve it. This is why
And
Shrek 2 speaks to me in so many
literally
ways.
tries
I
to
think we've all
change
been in a
himself,
position
but
where we second guess ourselves about whether
can't
or
really
not we
change what's on the
deserve
inside.
something. Let me tell you, as a musical theater geek who really can't sing, I've gotten part after part in high school and community
Oh,
shows.
wow,
where female
okay.
parts with actual great singing voices get practically nothing. The gender balance in community theater is way off, so I got part after part, while my friends maybe got one big role every 3 years. if they're
Well.
lucky. I've had at least a named role in every show I've ever been in. Some girls I've met have never had a named role. And I hear how good their voice is, and I just want to say sorry. I want to give them my part somehow, because I know they'd sing it better, and it makes me feel like a joke for even getting that part. I've also held positions in many different organizations, ones I didn't work that hard to get, while my friends tried their hardest to get and still didn't. It makes me feel like garbage for being in a position like that, when I know my friend would do so much better. And then there's romantic connection. I've only really had 5 or 6 serious crushes in my lifetime so far.
Yeah,
and one
none
of
of
them
these,
was
like, you
Untitled
really
Chapter, so I
gotta
don't think that
feel
really
bad,
counts. I confessed my feelings in
for
one
this
instance
guy,
and led to a
honestly.
relationship, but with the other cases, instead of confessing my feelings, all I could think to myself was, man, I wish I was good enough to be with these people. I know for a fact that I'm not the only person who's experienced this feeling, that sense of doubting yourself, even irrationally at times, because you let your insecurities control your life. And that is why we, as a society, connect so well with Shrek. In the first movie, he doesn't confess his feelings because he misunderstands a conversation between Fiona and Donkey, and he lets his irrational fears get the better of him, realizing only later how foolish that is. And after confessing his love to Fiona, even after seemingly gaining her love and affection back, he still thinks that he is not
Oh, I'm
good
sorry, I
enough.
just gotta
He's not the charming
clean
prince
my
that this girl was
glasses
promised
again.
all her life. He tries to drastically change himself in order to become the man he thinks she deserves, but he realizes that
Yeah, like
no
I said,
matter what, he
can't change what
what
you are on the inside.
She's a princess, and you're an ogre. That's something no amount of potion is ever going to change.
But that's okay. He learns to be content with who he is because that's the person she fell in love with. To quote Dear Evan Hansen, you don't have to convince me. You don't have to be scared.
That's
you're not
using
enough.
one of the
That's what we've
lyrics
got
from one
going.
of the really good duet songs from Dear
I
Evan
should mention that Kung
Hansen.
Fu Panda also focuses on the idea
Okay, I
that
think
something
you're
you've
kind
always
of
wanted,
pulling away
ultimately
from the
you
topic of the
deserve it.
second movie
While
by
this
going
movie
into
is
another
excellent and
DreamWorks
handles
movie
this
now.
idea well, I think Shrek 2 handles it better because Shrek's journey through this movie is more relatable and emotional. Poe remains an optimist even in the face of constant adversity and rejection from
Yeah.
a society he desperately wants to join. That's admirable.
But he's
in
gotta
some way,
overcome those
however, Shrek
adversities a
exemplifies
lot.
The kind of personal growth so many of us experience. We try to change ourselves to be better in certain roles, to be a better performer, a better worker, a better communicator, a better partner. We want to improve, but in the end, it's so easy to lose track of who we are, to compromise our identity in order to conform to what society wants us to be. Sometimes we lose hope that it's even worth it. We believe that no matter what, we're not good enough. But we are. You are good enough. Don't let society change anything about you. Be proud of who you are and what you've accomplished. Because no matter who you are, no matter what anyone else says, no matter how much that little voice in the back of your head is telling you that you don't deserve it, it's not true. You deserve to live happily ever after. Wow. Shrek 2 is incredible, guys. DreamWorks movies
Wow,
clearly
really?
peaked during 2004. In fact, I think I'll review the other DreamWorks
Yeesh.
movie that came out that year. I don't remember what it was, but considering
Oh,
how
I know what that is. Alright, well there you go guys. That was my reaction to Shah Freelas's Why Shrek 2 is Perfect. I don't know, like, if he was trying to go for, like, making it a review of the entire movie, that's what I'm gonna go with. That it felt more like just a review of the movie and saying why it's a perfect sequel. Or something like that. There's not really much I could say about this video. I don't know if I'm going to be reacting to more of his channel. I'm not sure. I will have to think about it and stuff. I mean, if you guys want me to react to more of his videos, let me know in the comment section down below this video. I was basically confused throughout that whole thing. Just a little bit confused. Sorry. But anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to never miss a new video. With that being said, I will see all you awesome guys and gals later. Bye-bye!